Hello, everyone. Welcome to another installment of Taxonomy Tuesday with the New Jersey Mycological Association. My name is Lila, and I will be your host this evening. We use a show and tell format, and we take turns rotating around, giving everyone who has something to share a chance to share their photos. And we discuss the mushrooms and we try to help identify them if you don't know what they are. So with that, I'd like to begin with people that have joined that have something they would like to share from their desktop. Do we have anyone that would like to do that? You can start putting your names in the chat or adding a comment that you've got something, and we will go from there. Evan, do you have anything?
I have one or two.
All right, Chris has got something. Hopefully the rest of you have something to share with us because we can all learn. No mushroom is too common to share. All right, here comes Chris.
This was from, this is a revisit from a couple weeks ago. This was a piece of poo that Sue gave me, which would sound weird if we were anywhere else, honestly. So these were just, these little fruiting bodies were growing all over it. There you go. That's a good one. So I don't know. I was hoping Brandon would be around because he's always looking at small stuff. I got around to putting a little bit of it under the microscope here. And it was just a bunch of like hyphae looking stuff. The spores are those little round things, kind of boring, honestly. And it seemed like when I had it under at first before I really pushed it all around, just all like strings of the spores. Like if you could see those three that are lined up like that, it would be just like bunches of them that were just chains of spores. And like it was hard to look at or get a decent picture of. But I don't know really what direction to go with it because I was even thinking maybe it was some kind of slime mold or something, but usually they have like that little netted capillicium, and the capillicium looks cool in one way or another, like little braided look or something. But these just didn't have any of that, and I don't know where to go with it.
Were they bluish? Blue?
Like green, like
Blue-green?
like a lichen.
Uh-huh.
Like
Yeah, I think I've seen that before on poop.
that color right there is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Also on dung or poo, and I thought maybe penicillium,
Penicillium.
which has that usually that bluish or sometimes greenish color.
Does it grow on stalks like this?
I have an observation where I think it doesn't have that elongated top surface there. It's a little more circular, but it is on stalk. Yeah.
All right, maybe I'll try to look through some of those.
Well, maybe I'll present something a little bit later too that shows what I found that's similar. It's also growing on dung.
Cool. And then
Can we, does anyone know of a good resource or PDF or anything specifically on dung fungi?
Sigrid Jacob
Yes, yeah, I know she's like an expert on it, but
Yeah.
From
is there?
New York Club?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe send her a picture.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you put your stuff up on INAT, Chris? Tag her in the comments, and she'll probably weigh in.
Oh, that's cool. I will have to try that out.
But
And then-
yeah, Paul's idea might be worth looking into as well there with penicillin.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever, maybe something will look similar. This I found while walking the dog, and I was just hoping to see if anybody else knew more. Like, I just tried to do all the things in like a collection. I didn't take a picture in situ, but kind of, the standard side profile, one at the top. That's how much it peeled.
Mm,
Uh,
almost to the center.
yeah. Uh, there's like some bit of forking almost like right at the base, which was cool. And then there were some, not as many, but a couple about halfway out or further out.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is under using the meltzers, but I don't know. I was hoping for more of that, like, in the books they look like they have some like netting or something. These ones they look like they have, like some wordiness, but
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit nodulose.
yeah, I was kind of wondering if anybody else had like similar results or whatever. Maybe my melters isn't so meltery. Something. Oh, that was a basidia floating around. And then I got another couple here.
Mm-hmm.
But
Nice.
yeah, just as like I really wasn't sure what to expect because I don't look at these because I hadn't had melters ever, but now that I got some, I wanted to try it out, and if that was like, you know a fairly standard result.
I haven't played with any Meltzers ever, so I don't have any tips for you on that.
Mm.
Um, so is it Igor here still?
I am here.
Yeah. So I mean, the Meltzer's points out amyloid and amyloid mostly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you were wanting to see ornamentation, is that right, Chris? Better, or were
Yeah,
you want?
yeah. I don't know. Like I thought it would be more, or maybe some of the Russulas just don't really have a lot going on as one compared to the other. Like I really haven't
Yeah.
gotten into them at all. So like I don't know if somebody else had more experience with them. So some of them have a real netted look, and some of them are just like that, just like a little bit warty.
Right. There's definitely a large range. I know that. There's a book available through Sue on Russula that really goes deep into it that I got, but I haven't had a chance to get into it.
Yeah,
Sue.
the Fado Kibbe guide that the club sells. Have you?
Yeah, I just got it. I've flipped through it a bit, but
Okay.
I haven't gotten crazy with it just yet. But how about the rest of the collection? Did I cover all the usual bases for these? Right? Peel them.
Taste them though? Did you taste it?
Nah, I don't trust my taste buds. They're no good. They don't work good.
You should. It's very basic. It's either mild or it's bitter or it's hot.
Yeah, but I smoked cigarettes for like 20 years. So I don't trust them.
You might still be able to tell if it's bitter, right? You know, I would give it a shot.
Or spicy. Spicy you would feel right away.
Yeah, hot.
Mm.
Oh, the other thing, Chris, is what trees it was growing on around conifers or deciduous.
Oak tree.
Maybe
Big
that's
old
that,
oak
but
tree.
that should be helpful.
Cool. Yeah, that's all I really had going on.
All right. Sorry, we're not of more help on those, but
No.
two challenging ones. You don't have a Cortinarius to throw at us, do you?
Maybe next time.
Okay. All right. All right. How about somebody else that would like to share from their desktop?
I'll
Let's
give it a
see.
try there, Lila.
You ready to go, Paul?
Yeah, I think so. Let me
All right,
just
super.
share. Let me just try this. I'm gonna see, share. Here we go. Is that it? And share. And share. Is that it? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Good, good.
Wow.
This is something similar to what Chris found, I think. And I got a tentative ID through my naturalist as penicillium, genus penicillium. So my eyesight not that great. I just sort of grabbed this as I was walking through the woods with someone, and only really examined it a little more later. At first, I thought, oh, this is some kind of interesting lichen, but then I realized it's a little more going on here, and it is kind of a stalked. With that light blue color, it's fairly accurate in the color, and then once I got it home, I did finally realize that this is growing on dung, and so again, I got a tentative ID of genus Penicillium, and I went off, in fact, a specific ID of Penicillium vulpinum, which I went off and looked at, did some more further research, and certainly looks like that. And as the name might imply, this grows on predator dung specifically, and quite often found on coyote dung. So again, not sure if that's exactly accurate here, but it certainly looked like what other sources I was looking at. And it was in a pretty rural area where there might be certainly foxes and that sort of thing. So anyway, I just thought I'd show that. I don't think I have any micro. No. Oh, yes, I do. I've got a
There you
couple
go.
of
Yeah. Look at them in
spores.
like little chains. Boom.
Right.
Look at that.
I don't know if they were just, I just couldn't get any. I found they were just wanting to stick together so much. I had very difficult time, even getting some photographs of individual ones. But I thought I'd include this one, and apparently I didn't actually measure. Didn't actually measure any of them, but they're pretty small. They're in the order of probably 3 or 4, 5 micron
Yep.
type. Is that what yours looked like?
Yeah, I mean, this honestly, this one looks fresher. Like, that's the difference, because there's some bigger ones in the photo, and they look like they're starting to get that shape to them.
That more elongated.
Yeah, like
Yes.
across the back there, you could see some sticking up. There's the line of them kind of through the middle that are starting to
Yes.
starting to get
Yes.
that real similar shape. I think that might be it, and the color is pretty similar.
Yeah, I think that's pretty characteristic of penicillium. Certainly the types you find on in food and some of the citrus fruits and things, they all seem to have that sort of bluish greenish.
That's
There are a
cool.
lot of species of penicillin, I believe. I haven't looked
Yeah,
at it in quite a
I
while, but I
believe
think there are.
I believe that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But the one that grows on dung is, I think the one, or at least one of them that grows on dung is the one that Paul said, I think.
Mhm.
The,
Vulpinum.
yeah, and the images of that look a lot like, but there's some that look a lot like both Chris's and Paul's.
Yeah,
But
this might be a little younger, maybe fresher.
That's cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Gosh, I don't know if I really have any. Well, let me just show this one here. I don't know if anybody knows Gymnopilus very well. I seem to be finding that a lot lately, which I think some different species of Gymnopilus. This one growing on piece of hardwood. Um, I'm not sure, maybe oak. Um, and
Looks like
yeah,
oak. I see
very,
an oak leaf. Yeah.
yes, there could very well be a lot of oak in that area. Very crowded gills there, very tight. Um, and I think it has, I've looked at some other Gymnopilus and it has, I think, some pretty typical spores. It's very rusty, almost an orange spore color. Some dimensions which seem to fall right into place, around 8 by 4 microns. But I got sort of I went onto the Gymnopilus Facebook page, and someone gave a tentative species of liquiritiae, which I think I'm pronouncing that right. I should maybe put that in the chat. But so I don't know if anybody's got any experience with Gymnopilus, which they seem to be coming out this time of year. But whoops, go back.
personally, I've found it and shown it here, and we've put that name on it, Liquiritiae, and I'm when you look it up, I mean, it's seems pretty good, but
Yeah, that's I tried to look up some other observations on iNaturalist, and in fact I got a, um, a recommendation of another species name called Subdryophilus. And in fact, I went and looked up that species, tried to find some instances on iNaturalist, and I found a few, not that many, but in fact, I found one where someone put in the comment. In fact, it's someone we just mentioned here, the Sigrid Jacob. She put in this comment. I quote, what we call Gymnopilus liquiritiae turns out to be Gymnopilus subdryophilus, described by Merle from Florida in 1940. So I don't know if we're in the midst of whether there's possible name change or some ambiguity there, but that might be another possible name for this liquiritiae.
Maybe Liquiritiae is European.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I'll have to do some look. Yeah, that might be the case.
I know Sigrid has also done tons of DNA analysis on many specimens, so
I see.
she's
So,
pretty up on things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I would say definitely a Gymnopilus from the
yeah.
overall appearance,
Mhm.
the
Yes.
shape of the
Let's see.
spores and whatnot.
exactly. I think I might just stop sharing there.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Paul. Very interesting as well. Okay. We've got a couple more people that have joined. If you have something that you'd like to share, speak up or put your name in the chat. Peter, Carol, Teresa, William, Tristan, you're all welcome to
I'll do a couple.
share. All right, super. Is that Tristan?
Yep.
Excellent.
With Lila's encouragement, yes. uh, Peter started sharing.
Oh, Peter's sharing. Okay. All right. Can you hang on, Tristan? Let's see if we get Peter. Peter?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I'm Peter. Good morning.
Good evening.
Here, honey. Okay. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I have two photographs I just wanted to share. And at first, I saw this unusual life habit, if you will. And I was like, what the heck? I've never seen this like this before. So I used our favorite iNaturalist kind of thing. And what did I come up with? Does anybody want to guess?
Is that umbrella thing?
Umbalata? Something, yeah.
It was almost like a pseudoplasmodium type of thing where this thing reached out and then all of a sudden it formed regular basidiomycetes. So I was under the impression I figured out, okay, if iNaturalist suggests a certain name, Mickey, how do I change this? Let's go look at the next picture.
Go back here and share.
Was it on the ground?
Yeah, on wood. Yeah.
On wood.
Okay, so maybe we know what this is.
Yeah.
A mushroom?
Yeah.
A mushroom,
honey.
that's very good. And it's a basidiomycete and stipitate. You always like all these great terms we can use. So it's
that
what?
looks like a honey.
Armadillo tibescens?
Yeah.
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 All right. So that's what the other iNaturalist thing recommended the other one was.
No.
Yeah, I don't know about
right.
that.
So So I'm like, okay, I need to speak to you folks. And so as a project, whatever, we could try to figure that out sometime. If somebody's ever seen something like that in the woods, on wood.
Can we go back for a second and
Yeah.
look at it again?
Yeah. If I'll try to figure it out, folks. I'm kind of new at this. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah. This is last month, so it's 1 month. It's been sitting in my driveway, been rained on recently. Still is
about
kind of like
golden oysters?
I get that idea. I pick golden oysters, as I shared last time I was on this site with you folks talking so graciously that about a month and a half ago, huge fruiting of it. But that's a plausible idea. Obviously, it's a little bit more aged. This one
Right,
here.
very old. Yeah, maybe. Can
Yeah.
you see the gills on that?
I'm wondering if it has pores.
Yeah.
Is this the
Yeah,
only
it's
picture?
a gilled fungi, and I am sorry I didn't have the abaxial or lower surface showing there. Obviously, my fault, my bad. But yes, it did have decurrent gills, and
Can we zoom? Can you zoom in, Peter, on the upper cluster, the one at like 4 o'clock? Can we? Does that show us the underside? No.
not much. Really, the cap really curves over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decurrent gills would point to golden oysters, of course. But
Yeah.
I
They're
don't know.
bigger. They're way bigger though.
But if not when they're little, they're not.
Well, true, but yeah.
That's the thing about mushrooms is that they can be tiny and then it can be big, like polypyramis squamosus or something. Any fungi. I got a puffball I can show in a little while maybe. It's the biggest one I've ever seen.
Like
It's
if
size of
these
a
dried
woman's-
out early on, if things just got really dry really quick and hot.
Yeah. Yeah, we did have some really hot, dry weather that caused things to kind of like not really fruit properly.
And this was growing in your driveway?
No, I've had it in my driveway on the concrete, just stored there for several weeks. I can probably pull it out in a few minutes and just show
Oh.
you folks by hand what it looks like. So, unless I threw it out. So, why don't we go on to the next person who wants to add things about their collection? And I'm going to take a recess and go find some stuff. But while you have me here anyway, folks, and since I don't add to a lot of stuff often, I just want to remind everybody about a friend of ours, long past, Sam Ristich. Now, Sam Ristich, who lived up in Maine, he was a major mycologist and has lots of pictures and stuff. This is one of his old books that he published. And we're talking about spore prints here. And it's a fun activity for those who want to create some art. As he did, he would cover the cap of the mushroom and he would like raise a bowl up over it so air would disperse underneath it and you got kind of a mistiness to it. And or if you want, you can do things like this and you can spray it with a polyurethane or a clear lacquer and then it doesn't smudge and you can use it as letter papers to send to people in the mail as fun stuff. And then you can make sure you know that you need to use different colored papers because sometimes the paper you use isn't always going to show the spore color very well because that Amanita muscaria white on this whiter paper doesn't show up, yet it really shows up on the yellower paper. So it's fun stuff to do if you want to play around with fungi and get spore print colors and make art. I'll take that recess and look for those fungi in my driveway. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Peter.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just had a brainchild that somebody could make a really interesting spore print photo contest entry.
Good idea. Yeah.
So something different.
What is the book? Is it all spore prints or
Oh no, it's Sam is reminiscing about different forays on different days
oh nice.
and recipes and who didn't show up for a foray and who did show up for a foray and oh my God, look what we found today.
Oh,
Some
that's great.
oddball thing on the underside of the bark on some maple tree. Haven't seen it in years. He just gets really into stuff.
Oh, nice. Look
And
at that.
yeah,
Oh, sweet.
yeah.
That's really nice.
So actually, this is amazingly enough, Amanita Risticii. So one of our guys, I don't know, Rod Tullis or one of those guys down there, named something after Sam, Amanita Risticii. But
Wow.
yeah,
That's awesome.
looks like Amanita barossa here, but
Yeah.
I'm not an expert.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right.
fun
Thanks,
book.
Peter.
Yep. Okay. See you later.
All right. See you back in a bit.
Okay. Thanks.
On the Sam Ristich theme, I just want to throw out to folks that the nymph foray, we often just call it the nymph foray, but it's really the Sam Ristich foray that the Northeast Mycological Federation holds each year. And this year it was up in Ithaca, and next year it's going to be in Mt Alto, Pennsylvania. And our club is one of the clubs that is hosting it. So, and I think, yeah, I think our club helped start the whole nymph thing with an annual foray with Sam coming down. So a nice connection, and his legacy lives on in that foray. All right, can you stop sharing, Peter? Can I bump you off? There you go. Super. Okay. We lost your audio, but you're going to go look in your driveway and we will move on to Tristan, who had some things he wanted to share. So go ahead, Tristan.
Right. Found this in a nice little short little hike by where I live. Just growing out of some leaves. A little bit black on the bottom, obviously white on the top. Very small. Is the quarter for reference.
Couple of tiny ones in the background there too. Yeah.
Yeah, those are.
Yeah.
Yep, those are these right here that are on that stick.
Nice.
Try to get a shot of the gills on the smaller ones, but it's really hard to see. But definitely white. And this is the gills on the slightly bigger ones.
Yeah, I definitely, the bigger ones, I agree with the ID on that. I love this little mushroom. I'm scratching my head though, wondering if the one growing on the stick is the same thing or not.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to look at the genus, how you say it, Tetrapyrgos, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of information on. It seems like there's a lot of species of it, but there's not a lot of information about all the species. But and some of the ones that like they show you online, or they don't look like these smaller ones here. So it's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
Maybe people are just not capturing the smaller ones, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be the same thing. The ones I've found it on leaf litter just like you have, typically growing from the rib of the leaf, usually oak, and yeah, quite a thin stipe in relation to the cap, and the dark part at the bottom. So that's classically it there. Those ones in the background, though, I could be it. Obviously they're going to look a little bit different when they're immature.
Right, but it's also interesting that like you pointed out, they're on a stick. They're not on a leaf, right?
Right. Yeah, the one shot you showed it right on the stick.
What
Yeah.
what are you calling this thing?
This is Tetrapyrgos nigripes. It's a type of marasmius.
Cool.
Well, yeah, I don't know what these little white ones are, but it's just interesting that they're right near the other ones.
Yeah.
Also, the stalk on these is not very dark, as some of the other ones, like when you look it up. So maybe it's not quite that. Some of these are.
Yeah, it has like a bloom or something on it. So, but it's clearly dark underneath there when you,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I think that's a good idea on these bigger ones, very thin stipe, white at the top, dark at the bottom, the white cap, the gill arrangement looks good. Yeah, I'm just not positive about those smaller ones. I don't know if Hunter or anyone else has any thoughts on that.
No. Yeah, no. These are hard, for sure. No idea. I mean, I agree that the larger ones look like what he has nigripes or yeah. But these look a little bit different. But they, yeah, may just not be fully fruited yet.
In my my little field guide, my Audubon Society one, it's in the habit on this one, it says on twigs and leaves in mixed woods.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, if you could get a better look, it doesn't seem like those marasmius usually don't have a bunch of gills.
Yeah, it's hard to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tiny. Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually sell a lens on Amazon that you can clip onto your phone that does the
Yeah,
zoom. It's a
Tristan's got
macro
one.
lens.
I have one, but it doesn't, it's like, I think the zoom on my phone is better than the lens with the zoom on the phone.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like I try to use it and it's just like it comes out exactly the same. I don't know if it's just not I didn't buy the good ones or what.
Well, trying to focus in on white and tiny white is really hard. It's
Yeah.
really hard.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy a tripod, I think, for my phone. Maybe it'll help just a tiny bit, but
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
so that's one. I thought
That's
I'd
one.
share.
Yeah, I love seeing those. Thank you. What else do you have?
There's another one while I was visiting my cousin in North Carolina. I'll show you if that counts.
Sure.
I was really jealous of them. I was like walking around like a really tiny park, and it was just like mushrooms everywhere. Like I felt like I wasn't finding anything up here.
Yeah, they've been getting the rain.
Yeah.
Hmm.
A little bit larger than the
Yeah.
last one. Nice bulb at the bottom here. Obviously, the warts on the cap. I think the brown on the stem is also identifier for this one. Also the the brown on the gills as it ages. I mean, it looked like the gills were kind of peeling away from the stem as it was getting older.
Hmm.
Couple more. An older one. See the warts on the top.
Yeah, lots of warts.
Just the browning, I think, is really characteristic, supposed to be of this one.
Is that related to the reddening Lepidella?
I'm not the person to ask, but
And
uh,
what have you put? What name have you put on these?
this is Amanita bruneo locularis, Mesoamerican dark bulb blusher.
Yeah.
It seemed pretty accurate, I think, from what I was looking at.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it screams blusher, but yeah.
I
Cool.
doubt this is that species. That species is from South America.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. It was,
Mesoamerica.
yeah, from South America. So
Yeah. We have several blushers here in the eastern United States, and they're all indigenous to this continent, and I think it's one of them. You know, which one is a question, but it's certainly not the bruniocularis.
okay.
Yeah, I think
That's
it's
good.
known from Colombia and Central America. So North and South America and the Mesoamerican region. But we have a bunch of our own, and we cannot discern morphologically between them. We have to just do DNA, which is
Is there a section for it or no?
it's section Validae.
No, no. Okay.
Yeah, they're all Validae. No striations, a ring, and a bulb. So
Right. Yeah, I'll change that.
Do you have a couple of possible name suggestions, Igor?
Not really. Like I said, there's provisional names by Rotellus and a few of them were still called Amerubescent species 02 and species 05.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Cornelia hybrida, I think, or maybe I'm confusing that name with something else. Yeah, I haven't looked at those names in a long while. I just called them Amerubescence group and called it a
Yeah.
day. There's like
Okay.
absolutely no point in putting a name on these things because we never know to certainty. It's just a guessing game.
All right. Without
Yeah,
DNA.
and without a website down, it's just basically, Rad's website is down, and it's not easy to search for these things anymore. You have to go to MO and go through the name of Amanitas pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any new information about the website coming back, or is anyone?
It's bizarre because sometimes I can get into it and other times I can't. That's just like hit or miss. And it's usually, if I get a link to it from someplace else, that works. That will take me in a previously, working link. So I really don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, at some point I'll have to reach out again.
All right, that was it for me.
That's it? Okay. Well, those are good.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you for sharing. All right. And Peter's back with his puzzle here.
Okay, so good evening again. And can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great, Nikki. So this is the one we have on the screen now, if it's on the screen still. And
Yeah.
there was a suggestion that it was possibly the invasive oyster, which is very fragile. The invasive oyster.
Right in front of that.
But you can see that this is not very fragile. If it were to be that invasive oyster, the yellow thing, that it's not.
Yeah.
And so this is the Bessen's ringless honey mushroom, if you will. I'm pretty confident on that. Which I don't eat it, but it's shot. But it wasn't my driveway for a couple weeks. But it's just a interesting comparison to this weird octopus-like thing. So I thought maybe somebody might have an idea about having seen something like that.
Hey, turn it back to the
Yes.
the attachment point,
Yeah.
right?
Wait, I can't see. Are you showing it right now? Oh, yay. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't seeing that.
Yeah, if you turn it back to the attachment point, I don't know, you
Open one of those bigger
disappeared.
caps up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And not because it looked like
Right there.
instead of them being a clump, like centrally attached, it looked more like cesspitose.
Yeah, there's the attachment point.
Mm.
You could actually grab onto just that one point.
Yeah, if you could look like right next to that, like move your finger so we could see like the little bit of no, that doesn't. Looks like one big clump.
Yeah, cesspitose is kind of different because
Yeah.
generally that's like an umbrella, it's closed, and you have all the spines coming out of a certain point. This thing here, like I said earlier about the pseudoplasmodium, it almost like it spreads out in this weird pattern.
Yeah, and then the fruiting stalks. Yeah, to me, it looks like the Polypyramis umbellatus.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Polyphyramis, well, this is gilled.
yeah, that's the problem. I got to read the description on this to see what that looks like. Yeah, running far down the stem, white with 1 to 2 angular pores per millimeter, tubes to 2 millimeters deep. Yeah, you're certain there's gills on this.
Oh yeah, yeah, and they're decurrent. And
Okay.
all right, well, that's all I can share. I'm sorry I don't have more interesting things. And there's anomalies often in fungi or in the plant world where things are just weird and only occur infrequently.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that was in your yard or wherever you found it?
New Jersey. Yeah.
Was it the only clump there, or is there
It
still more?
was, yeah, it was only clump, and would have harvested more for better collection, but that was it. It was like, kind of weird.
Base of a oak tree or what What do you think it
Good
was attached
question.
to?
Well, I apologize. I'll take better copious notes next time.
Yeah.
I was wondering maybe if you go after another storm, perhaps there might be some others growing and let them grow out. They might be a young version of.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
So
hopefully this
maybe
last
same one
storm,
for-
yeah. Hopefully the last storm did something because obviously we all know that it was pretty dry out there.
Yeah.
And there was nothing popping up unless it was growing on roots or
Yeah.
on dead wood. Yeah, that was voiced. All right, I'll keep my eyes out.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. It's
Okay.
interesting.
Bye.
Okay. All right, Bianca or anyone else that wants to share from their.
I have one from Colorado.
Sure, sure.
All right. Okay. Let's figure out how to get there. I need someone to stop sharing for me to share.
All right, yeah, Peter's got to stop. Okay, you should be good now.
I believe it was an Amanita. It broke. It was pretty fragile when I got it. So here's this. So it was pretty large. Let me see if I have a better. So it did redden. And then it was very sandy soil. Let's see. Here we go. That's a better photo. There. So that's the original cap and the original base. And it snapped off very easily.
This is not an Amanita.
What? Oh no.
This is the same thing we found together, which was the last mushroom on our hike in September.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know they grew in Colorado as well.
Yeah, it's Chlorophyllum.
All right. That's a shock. All right. So let me do one more picture
Rhacodes
of the
or
thing.
Brunium or something like that.
Yeah, what is it? One of them, the reddening Lepiota or something?
Yep. It is going to have 3 gills, but it's not an Amanita. Yeah, it's a saprobe.
Okay. Thank you.
Did you smell it?
It smelled very mushroomy.
Mhm.
Very pleasant to me.
Okay. Yeah, but remember when we were almost done with the walk next to this chain link fence,
Yes, I
we found a
remember.
bunch of these immature things and we cut them and they reddened too, and they had the same kind of scales on the cap.
Yeah, absolutely. I was
So
just
that's
very surprised that the same thing grew in Colorado and very
yeah, well,
sandy.
yeah, there's a number of species. I've never seen Rhacodes in New Jersey, but it could be, one of these things. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Not Rhacodes, but Chlorophyllum, some kind. Yeah, sandy soil. Why not? I found Chlorophyllum brunium, which is a western species in New Jersey in the Pine Barrens. I have an observation of it on the Mo, and I saved the collection, which is at Rutgers University. Never been sequenced though. But yeah, strange things can happen sometimes.
Well, thank you. That's it for me because I was kind of out of state, obviously.
Yeah. All right. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
Did you find any edulus in Colorado?
That was the
Pleurotus
only
edulus?
mushroom I found. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Must be very dry.
It's very dry around the Red Rocks Amphitheater, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyone else from their desktop? If not, we'll move to things people have emailed in. All right. Dave had sent some. Dave, did you join yet?
No, he has not.
Does not. I wonder if he fell asleep.
Possibly.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then
Well,
Hunter,
so-
Igor, you were the next one to send some in, so I will bring up.
her a message.
Yeah, I have more than 5, but I'll be quick. Some of them are just, require a 10-second discussion pretty much.
Yeah. What do we have here? If somebody's cooking a giant puffball, it looks pretty good. Oh, Peter. Peter's making dinner there. That's a big one.
Yeah,
You want to
That's why they call this gigantea.
Yeah. You want to tell us how you prepared it? You're on mute. You're on mute. You're still on mute.
Lila, you might be able to unmute him.
Yeah, I'm looking for where I can do that.
Okay,
there
so
we go.
yeah, I often pick these things to show people, it's show and tell usually. And I did bring it up to the Catskills from New Jersey. And this gentleman said, "Oh, yeah, I'll take half of that." And so, yeah, sure enough, cut it in half, white as cream cheese inside. And he was very happy that he received that. He was going to cook it up and bread it and cook it like pancakes. And of course, whatever seasonings you put on there, it will taste like those seasonings. So I'm very happy that he was fortunate enough to have received part of this. And the other picture I have of this is 2 pictures showing we never know the size of these things unless we have some kind of a comparison. So I guess I should have put a quarter on there, like one of the last people did, because that was a really good way to figure out, as long as we're Americans, what a quarter is relative to the size of something, or a dime, or we used to use rulers. But sorry I didn't do that. But it was several pounds, I might say, and stayed fresh for a few days. So that's my last giggle here.
Yeah, it's beautiful and
Yeah.
very large.
Very large. Okay, enjoy. Next.
Thanks.
I
Thanks.
tried preparing that and it didn't go as well as I hoped. It just tasted very marshmallowy and had a very kind of gooey texture. How do people normally prepare that for it to taste good?
Deep fried.
I make I use it like a crepe. I cut it really thin and I'll cook it like in a pan like a crepe. So just in a little bit of butter for a very short time on each side. And then I put a filling in, a crepe filling, a savory one with spinach and camembert cheese. And it's it and then I put that in a like Parmesan, a little half and half for cream and Parmesan, and it's really really good. But I've kind of gotten burnt out on that recipe. But I mean, if you've never had it, you would really like it, and it's really easy. It's really just what I just said. You blend the
good. That sounds amazing. Thank you.
you blend the camembert and spinach in a blender, so it's pureed, and then you put it in, and that's it. Yeah, it's real good. But
But
I've
it's
also,
fancy.
yeah, it's fancy.
It is.
It's hard to cut it thin enough. That's the trick with that. But yeah, I think just sauteed with garlic isn't bad
Right.
either. Butter and garlic.
You can try a serrated knife as opposed to a regular chef's knife.
Yeah,
It
that'll
won't-
help.
It won't stick to the knife as much. The fine serrations will cut through it and not create that problem of being able to cut it thin enough.
Yeah, it helps. Well, yes. Yeah, I've tried almost everything. So, but yeah, even serrated, it can be hard, but
Yeah.
it does help. Yeah.
Okay.
Another way that I prepare it is slice it fairly thin, and then bake in the oven for a fair bit. I put them on a little like baking rack, cooling rack on a tray, bake them down to try to get some of the water out, and then I use them like little mini pizza crusts.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you get a bread-free pizza, but they have no flavor on their own. So
I got one more, similar to Lila's, cut them real thin, put them on a baking sheet. When they're pliable, melt cheese on top, and then roll it up, and then cut it like pinwheels, and that's good.
Thank
Fancy.
you so much.
all right. Yeah, it's the one mushroom I've been seeing lately. You can see them driving around in people's yards and whatnot. So,
Mhm.
all right. So back to Igor's stuff here. Let me find it again here. Bring this up. All right. Let me share.
Boring. Get myself up here.
All right. Folks, see this?
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Mascara. Ooh.
So I found this one in Brandon Burns State Forest on the 11th of September, as the date says. It wasn't growing anymore. Actually, it was on the side of the road. I think somebody plucked it out and threw it away. There was also the Amanita there that was stepped on. So I think some people passed through the area. They were looking for edibles, and they weren't sure what they're dealing with. So they had to pick mushrooms before they could see what they were. So obviously it's a tooth mushroom. The hymenophore, those very pleasant to touch teeth, are brown. So I think in the past we used to call this either Sarcodon mostly, and there was also some species in Phellodon. And then there came out this paper maybe about, I don't know, 5 years ago or so, by some Scandinavian authors. I think the chief author was somebody named Larson. And they really shed more light on the phylogenetic side of these mushrooms. And a lot of things that were in Sarcodon got moved into Phellodon, even though they were fleshy, not woody, like most Phellodons are. So I think what the species is, most likely, is Phellodon scabrosum. I sequenced the collection.
Phellodon, PHA.
Yeah, Phellodon. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
12. Yeah, Phellodon scabrosum. I sequenced the collection a few years ago from a different part of the Pine Barrens. It was much paler, but it was about as scaly as this one, which actually is not much scales on the top of it. It's just very cracked. Maybe some scales in the center a little bit, but I think it's just mostly cracked. And using that paper that I just mentioned, I was able to establish that that was indeed Phellodon scabrosum. So I'm pretty sure that's what this is. This one was bitter, as I expected it to be. And if you look at the photograph with the stipe, there's a little bit of that bluish green tinge, near the root here. Yeah. So that's another telltale sign, I think, of scabrosum or something in the scabrosum group, in case we have a species of our own. I saved this collection, so I can probably sequence this later on if I have if I have the funds to do this.
Tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about the stipe, the root here.
Yeah, there's a lot of rhizomorphs in there. Somebody just basically pulled it out of the ground and not even cut it down. And you can still see, I think, that shade of bluish gray or whatever, on the tip of that, at the base of that stipe. Yeah.
Aren't Sarcodon and Phellodon species with different spore colors?
Yeah, the brown is Phellodon. Sarcodon is, I think. No, sorry.
No, it's the other way.
The other way. Sarcodon is brown. Phellodon is I wouldn't say white, but lighter colored.
So which one is this? Sarcodon? I'm sorry, I'm just joining.
Yeah, I think this is Phellodon scabrosum.
Didn't that used to be a Sarcodon?
Correct.
So
I mentioned that paper I mentioned that paper that achieved a lot of these transfers based on the
Yeah.
ITF sequences.
It's
So
interesting
Sarcodon is
to
much
me though
smaller
that.
genus.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said Sarcodon is a much smaller genus now than it used to be.
Right. It's just interesting to me that a species would have jumped from one genus to another where the spore color is so much different.
Yeah, and Sarcodon, I think, consisted exclusively of these fleshy, mushrooms like this one, and Phellodon are woody mushrooms. They don't have stipes. They're more sort of, I don't know how to describe.
Spreading.
Yeah, they're more spreading. They have indeterminate growth, and they don't have a stipe, maybe like a rootlet of some kind. Very tenacious, and but yet, that paper, I think, established pretty much the truth about these things. It's not as simple as we thought it were.
Yeah, I don't doubt what you're saying. It's just interesting because usually you don't have such different spore color, within
a
the
genus.
same genus.
Yeah, well, here the teeth are brown, so I thought that the spore print would also be brown, not the whitish like it is in the Bankera or Phellodon.
Yep. So I'm sorry. So you're not saying that? What you saying this one is? Sarcodon? Oh, you're saying
No,
this is Sarcodon.
I think this is Phellodon scabrosum.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which
Well,
used to
right.
be
I know what I thought was interesting. Yeah.
which used to be in the other genus. It was in Sarcodon scabrosus.
That's how I know it. Right.
Right.
Yeah, and it was transferred out into Phellodon.
That's just interesting, though, to be transferred from a genus of brown spored mushrooms to a genus of white spored mushrooms.
Well, I have to read the paper. Maybe that spore print right now is irrelevant.
Yeah,
have
that's why. But it's just interesting that it would be irrelevant because that's not typical.
Yeah, I've got to. I got the reference somewhere. I've got to read that paper a bit more carefully, but it's not a long paper. So
I don't doubt what you're saying. It's just interesting.
Very interesting.
yeah, well, like I said, I have a collection on MO that's been sequenced. It's much lighter in color, but it's still sort of this cacao color, kind of a reddish brown, maybe paler, and that turned out to be that species according to that paper. So whether we have two different species with essentially the same ITS in North America, because that species is European, imbricatum or scabrosus, they're both European, but we have them here apparently on this continent as well. Like I said, this is saved and it can be sequenced.
Oh, thank you.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a single picture. It's a well-known Amanita. It's sectional Lepidella. It always grows in September.
Polypyramis.
Correct. Lots of pyramidal warts that cover basically the entire surface of the mushroom all the way to the tip of the bulb, pretty much. Kind of a pulverulent, scaly, yeah. So very easy to ID. Probably the easiest Lepidella to ID, in my opinion.
Yeah, as is evidenced by my quick guess. And the only place I've ever seen it is Eastern New Jersey.
Yeah, it's in the Pine Barrens. We don't see it anywhere else. It's a conifer associate, I think. And I took this picture just because this thing was just emerging from the ground, and I just pushed away all the soil and the duff, the needles from the pine, and you can see the pine in the background. So yeah, it was a nice picture, a nice photo op. So yeah, Amanita polypyramis.
So this, I know we don't have it here. It's like only in the east, or is it only in? It's really small distribution, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a coastal plain species.
Okay.
I mean, you can probably find it in places like Georgia and the Carolinas, and I think it goes all the way up north to maybe Long Island. Their pine barrens, maybe even Cape Cod. I don't know. I have to look it up.
Yeah, I was wondering if this might ever be found in Cape Cod.
Yeah, I have to browse MO and see if that name shows up, north of New Jersey on the map.
Nice, fun photo there, Igor.
Yeah, it was young. It was just emerging from under the ground. I just left it as it was. No point in collecting it.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, this collection came probably from the same day. Also, Brandenburn State Forest. This was on the main road that's between Packing Pond and the campgrounds. I already forget the name of the road, but it's the only paved road in that area. And this was growing on the road, on the margin of the road. You can see the asphalt. It was basically like a couple of inches away from the edge of the asphalt. And this is one of these Amanitas from section Vaginata. They have gray volvus. This young one had a brown cap, whereas the older one had, I think, more of a gray cap with maybe a hint of brown. I left them as they were. You can see the asphalt on the right, on the left, and the sandy soil on the right. You can see the demarcation line diagonally going across the picture. So they were just a roadside attraction right there.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So I think this is Amanita pakimxxx because it was just a quarter of a mile away from Packing Pond, most likely. And you can see this one is brown as it matures, and it's a gray cap, and the vulva is more gray. A little bit of a contrast between the two gray colors. It's already in kind of a semi-desiccated condition. The cap, you can see it's being sort of shriveling up, and yeah, it's just drying out quickly.
Yeah.
These things just don't last very long, maybe just a couple of days. So yeah, I just snapped the pictures and walked away. I didn't take any specimens. But I'm pretty sure this is probably pakimxxx, based on my experience with that species, which is somewhat limited. Probably unlikely to be Rhacopus or Texas Aurora. But you
that
never
is
know.
a strangulated Amanita. It looked like it on the one photo.
Yeah, I didn't pull this out to see the if it had a saccate vulva or a more
Right.
strangulated.
The next photo though. Next photo I think showed. Yeah, there. See the little ring around the bottom of the stalk.
I don't see a ring.
Well, it doesn't look like a ring. I'm sorry. It just looks like
it's kind of
that's
torn.
It's just the surface sort of breaking away. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just some dirt there.
Yeah. So possibly pakimxxx, maybe something else. I don't think this is varicolor. Yeah, this type is lacking the proper ornamentation for that species. So yeah, I remember where I found this, so I can probably see it again if it grows back. It was kind of halfway between Packing Pond and the campgrounds.
Nice.
Yeah, this collection came from the Smithville Foray, which was on the 28th of September, I think.
Yes.
And I tentatively identified this mushroom as Agaricus reducibulbus. That name sort of came up unexpectedly 2 years ago when we made a collection of another Agaricus in 2023 at the Spark. And I sequenced it, and that's the name that transpired through the sequencing. So I'm pretty sure that's what this is. And the shape of the bulb, reducibulbus, sort of is similar to that 2023 collection. So I took it home, but I wound up not saving it. It was very tall and they had a very slender stipe.
I'm just gonna say it's interesting how tall it is, and the bale still intact.
Yeah, and that collection from 2026 was like yellowing like crazy, and you can see that thing is also yellowing. So I'm pretty sure that's what this is, because I think it's the only Agaricus species that we've been finding in that park so far. Again, it's an educated guess, but chances are I'm probably correct. It's a species by Kerrigan, so I don't know much about this. So he published this in his book.
So what did you call it? What did you think it was?
Agaricus reducibulbus.
Reducibulbus.
Yeah. With a C. Reduci.
Yeah.
That-
Okay.
That's neat.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We'll do another one and then we'll Hunter
Yeah,
and
this one is also a collection from Smithville, and I think Chris collected it. The tag has your name on it.
Nice.
It was identified tentatively as Helvella crispa. This was a particularly large specimen. I do have it. It dried on its own in a fridge, did not decompose at all. So we can probably submit it for DNA testing. You can see the stipe has all these highly fluted structure, cavernous, all these lacunae in there. Yeah, pretty nifty looking thing.
That's my handwriting.
That's your handwriting, for sure.
I have a cool video of me digging that one up.
Ah. Video, nice.
Yeah,
This was the hot item on the table, I would say, for that foray. Everybody was oohing and eyeing over this specimen.
Did that one have a particular smell?
Don't know. I didn't smell it.
No,
But
but
this thing was almost 4 inches tall, I think.
Yeah, it was bigger than that, I would say.
Or maybe even bigger than maybe 4.5 to 5.
Yeah.
when I had it in the little like strawberry container that I like was carrying it around in, when I opened it up back at the tables, it like that thing like exploded in smoke.
All right, so back to sharing. So that was 5, I think, Igor. Can we move on, I think, to Dave? And then we have Hunter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that had sort of a strange day today. Ended up with some stuff to do that I didn't anticipate, so I'm kind of late.
Okay.
And anyway, yeah, sure, we can look at my stuff.
All right, so let me share here again. Share. Okay.
So we had a foray. The local club here had a foray over the weekend at Saturday at Nescopec State Park. So this was in a coniferous area, a lot of hemlock and white pine, and some hardwoods mixed in. But this appears to be some Tolypocladium, probably Tolypocladium ophiogosoides, but with some sort of parasite growing on it. So the interesting thing is the parasite, this white stuff. I have no proposal for what it might be, other than some sort of parasite on a parasite. So it's a parasite on a parasite, if I'm reading this correctly. And there you can see here in this photo, you can see it's the clubs themselves, the are growing from this truffle-like entity that was under the ground, under ground level. Probably a Elaphomyces. My guess is that clubs are Tolypocladium ophioglossaides, but what is this white stuff? So I scraped some off and looked under the microscope, and I didn't see anything all that notable, except perhaps maybe some conidia floating around, which would sort of make sense because this might be some anamorph of a species. In which case, if it's an anamorph of something, it would be in the asexual stage and would be producing only conidia. But I don't have any better idea than that. Now, I preserved 3 of these. The 4th one I used to try to do some microscopy that didn't really yield a whole lot of information. But
what
pretty
about some
interesting. I've
kind
never
of like,
seen this before. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, it almost looks like one of these like cordyceps covered moths or something.
Yeah, that was the person who found it thought that he had found a cordyceps. But when I dug underneath and loosened up the ground underneath these clubs, you could see it was growing from this truffle-like thing, this subterranean truffle-like thing, probably a Elaphomyces. So I think the clubs are Tolypocladium, which, by the way, used
No,
to
I
be.
think you're right.
Yeah, used to
That
be
those are
in cordyceps. Tolypocladium used to be in court, which doesn't really mean anything, actually. It just means they didn't understand it well enough back then. But yeah, you're saying that the white stuff on the clubs. So I don't know, but
right.
Maybe there's some little insects that have covered the clubs, and then the white stuff grew from them. I don't know.
There's some
I have no idea.
cordyceps that doesn't, you know what I mean? Like maybe it is a parasite on a parasite, and a parasite might be some sort of cordyceps that goes after Topocladium.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. My understanding of the modern way to understand cordyceps is that all cordyceps species parasitize some sort of insect or what's the other thing? Like an insect. Starts with A.
Arachnid.
Yes, there you go. Thank you. But this stuff's growing right on these clubs, which seem to have nothing to do with any insects. So, but I don't know. Maybe there was some sort of very small insects covering these clubs, and then that's what got parasitized.
Well, this is really neat. That's a fine theory. But yeah, I don't know. Just how kind of toothy and like you didn't do these photos aren't micro photos, right? This was taken
No,
with
you know what? I kind of screwed up the one photo, the last one. I wanted to get a good photo through the loop, and I had a decent photo through the loop, and then I over edited it and couldn't unsave the damage I did. So it doesn't look quite as good as it should, but it's not all that far off from what this looked like.
But it also like this doesn't look like something that would wipe away, right? If you rub something against
it actually did wipe away fairly easily.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not all that rigid. It was I would call these white things friable. They were kind of, you can break them apart pretty easily. And
I think it is. I mean, there are Hypomyces species that I find them on these, sometimes like Papillosporae attacks the earth tongues, and sometimes you find a Tolypocladium infected with something that looks like hypomyces, but it kind of doesn't look like hypomyces. I do think it's another fungus, you know,
Well,
not
honestly,
connected.
hypomyces is about the best idea that,
Yeah,
that I've
yeah.
heard so far. I didn't think of that myself, but um, that's a pretty good idea. I preserved 3 of these. I'll hopefully submit for sequencing.
I'm seeing on Google that Tolypocladium longisegmentus and Tolypocladium capitatum.
Yeah, it's neither one. It's neither one of those.
It's not one of those.
No,
Well,
those have like beige stalks and an actual like cap.
Okay,
It doesn't have any gills or anything.
no
But
parasitized by
but
other hypomyces species.
oh,
yeah,
I
I was
see.
just gonna say. I
I
was
see.
just
So
gonna
it's the
say. I don't think.
hypomyces species that might be interesting here. Is
Right.
yeah. Oh, okay, I get it.
I don't know that you can call these things fully formed, like with a cap or just with a tongue. Although Dave, I do would agree. I
Yeah,
would
not
agree.
yeah. These are not these. The actual clumps here are.
Most
I
likely
think they're probably
Ophioglossoides.
Tolypocladium, but neither capitatum nor longisegmentus. Those are a lot different looking.
Okay.
But the hypomyces might affect that kind of,
Exactly.
formation.
That's why it's an interesting idea that Hunter brought up, is that these hypomyces that affect these other Tolypocladium, maybe they affect something like Tolypocladium ophioglossoides, which I think probably is the host species here actually. So it's an interesting idea. Thank you. Give me something a little more to go on.
Cool find.
All right. Good. Yeah, the weird weather is maybe bringing out weird stuff.
Weird weather tends to bring out weird stuff. So, okay, this is nothing earth-shattering here. It's just Pseuilus weaverae. But this is not the first time that I have found Pseuilus weaverae with blue stains on the fruit bodies, on the caps. You can see here these areas that are dark blue. This is not supposed to be the case with this species. And this is not the first time that I have found this sort of dark blue stain on this species. If I'm correct, if it's the species I think it is, and not the first time in this same location, I have found what I thought was Pseuilus weaverae in the same location with a similar blue, very dark blue stain on at least part of the fruit body, probably the cap. I should have looked it up to compare my notes with older stuff. But I think it's pretty much the same as this. So I just thought that was kind of interesting, this blue staining. I saved some of these, by the way. I preserved some. So I guess there's probably not a lot to say about this other than it's just sort of a strange anomaly.
Yeah, it's different.
But I'm pretty sure it's what it is. I'm pretty sure it's Pseuilus weaverae. White pine in the area, hemlock and white pine.
Okay. All right. That was number 2. Number 3.
Oh, so a new one for me. So we had some youngsters with us at the foray on Saturday, and the young people, like, they seem to like take delight in trying to find something that they think I won't know what it is. And quite frankly, I didn't know what this was. this young Alex, a new member, like a son of one of our newest members, found these and handed it to me. He said, "Do you know what these are?" So I didn't, but I think I figured out what they are actually. So I think this is hypoxylon, and then there's a species name I wrote down. I forget it, HOW or something.
Yeah.
Etc.
Oh,
Yeah, it's on beach.
Yeah, it looks like beach. That was beach in the area. It looks like beach. And this is interesting the way these spores are lined up. So this is probably an ascus that's and my idea is that the ascus actually sort of like deteriorates and falls apart. And maybe the spores just kind of stay in this line. It looks like there's 8 of them. Yeah, there's 8 of them there. So you can't see an actual coating like a container. You can't see an actual ascus, but it looks like they are lined up as though they're inside one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of interesting. But I think I'm pretty sure about this ID. It's something I had not ID'd in the past, but I think it's the correct ID.
Yeah, I think I've seen that earlier this year, and I think that name is correct, Dave, based on my memory.
Yeah, it's a new one for me because I don't stop and really look at this kind of stuff very often, which is a reason why it's good to have to go out with a bunch of people. They tend to gravitate toward these kind of things, especially this young guy, Alex. Like, yeah, he also found Alex also found Calycina citrinum. I think that's the new genus name, Calycina, which he thought was even cooler because it was so tiny. But I actually knew what that was when I saw it.
How old is
This
this
was a
kid?
good one.
Because these are all my type of things. I like these things too. How
Yeah,
old is that
Well,
kid?
he's like I don't know, 10 or 12, something like
Oh,
that, 11
that's
maybe. I
cool.
don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's fun having the kids out. There was another young girl also. She was like the same age. She found a few things. It's really great having the kids come out.
Well, their eyes are so good too.
That's part of it. Yes, they see these things I don't even see.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Some good photos there too.
That one through a loop.
Mm-hmm.
Got lucky. Sometimes I get lucky. It works out.
Yeah.
I think I took about 8 photos of this, and this was the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Just some 2 cents on the micro on this one. I think those were immature spores that chain. So I'm sure you could tell if they were housed within a very thin walled kind of translucent ascus. But this might have just been a chain of immature spores that got it. This is from a smash mount, right? So
Yeah, well, I might not just be seeing the walls of the ascus. I might not
or
see.
it could have broken away through the smash mount, and these could just.
I said broke it apart because I smashed it. Oh, that's it. That's an idea. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. All
I
right.
think what I looked at about this species, the spores should be a little bit bigger than these, so these might be immature spores.
Yeah, it's good that you got them at all. I'm impressed.
Oh well, that luck. Sometimes it's just a matter of being lucky. So this cool Helvella, it's apparently a Helvella. It doesn't really look like a Helvella. I thought this might be a Cudonia when I first saw it, except it seems kind of thin fleshed for a Cudonia. But this is almost certainly a Helvella. Once I got some spores to look at, and I did get some spores to drop out of a piece of this, and the rest of it I dried out. Is something like this I'm definitely going to try to save. But most of your little thin, long stalked Helvellas, they have like these saddle shaped or satellite dish shaped caps. So this convex cap is kind of interesting to me. And also the spores are really big. They're I couldn't find any Helvella species with spore dimensions listed that matched this thing. So the spore dimensions, I think there was something like 23 to 27 by 15 to 18, something like that. They're really big spores.
Oh yeah. And clearly Helvella spores though.
Clearly Helvella spores, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna say, I mean, it would completely be out of season, but it reminds me of like Verpa conica a little bit. The way the cap is, not saddle shaped and just kind of sitting on top.
Yeah, it's not Verpic. That
No,
one
I
I know.
know.
It's not that.
No, I know. Completely out
Yeah.
of season, but it is a weird looking Helvella for sure.
Well, here's another interesting thing. If you scroll through the rest of these photos, the last one, which this just the very last, and that's a nice close up on one of these spores. The very last one, next one, I think. So I think what we're seeing here is the spores with the gutules having drifted out of the spores. And as I was looking at through the scope at this scene, I witnessed a few little movies. I didn't make any. I should have made a movie really of the gutule just drifting out of the spore, and then the spore got smaller. So the spore like contracted a little bit after the gutule drifted outside of it. So I think what we're seeing here are some spores, and they tend to be pinkish looking because I think the walls picked up the Congo red that I used, and the little globose, the smaller globose things, which are greenish sort of, those are the gutules, I believe, and so these were all part of the same entities, but they sort of separated out, and I don't know what to make of that. I thought it was pretty interesting, so I tried to get one photo, and that's this one.
That's really cool, Dave. I think that's probably, is it oil or is it just air?
I don't think the round things are air pockets. I think those are gutules, because I saw it happening also. I like watched it happening in real time.
Yeah.
Where you would see a spore that had the spores we looked at before this, those big broadly ellipsoid subglobose things with the globose. Before this one, because that one's empty, and that one's so this one, right, eyeballs, yeah. And I watched as the globose thing in the middle just sort of got ejected out of the rest of the spore, and then the outer part of the spore got a little smaller, and the gutule stayed the same size.
My question, like the whatever was contained within that spore, I'm sure, I believe you. I haven't seen it, on that level, but I've seen the contents of the spore ejected. But again, is it oil or is it water? Is it air? Is it actually oil droplets as they're described? I think it is. I think they're little.
Yeah, I know air under the microscope is usually like darker, really spherical.
Yeah. Yep.
That's very.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have my
interesting.
mute on. And different sizes also. The air pockets tend to not be you know, they tend to be like all these different sizes. Now there are some different sizes here actually, but I think these are the gutules. I think these greenish things are the gutules that have come out. And a few of the spores I looked at, I didn't get photos of, but there would be the one big central gutule, and then there were like some smaller ones near either of the poles. But I didn't actually get a photo of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
and
any rate, it's a pretty interesting species, and I preserved most of it.
Great.
oh yeah, I forgot about trying to ID the species and was just your observation of the spores is really cool here, because it's definitely the gutules coming out of the spore. But I've always just been curious, like what is a gutule? And this kind of supports it's an oil droplet, as you know, many people describe that.
Yeah, as is generally described, right? Yeah. Yeah, it does sort of support that because it's not just dissipating or breaking up into a bunch of little things. So yeah, interesting. And these are really long. So there was one that measured, I said 27 microns, but it might actually be closer to 28. The longest one. So really, I thought this was very interesting because I really don't know. I don't know what it is. I couldn't find anything that matches.
It's neat find.
All right. Good stuff. What was that? The fourth one? Fifth one?
I
Nope.
think so, yeah.
No, fourth and fifth were the same thing.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 14,
We'll go
14. All
down
right,
to
well, we'll do
below
one
to
more.
the next thing then.
Yeah, I'll do one more down here.
Yeah, do one down there.
Arhenia.
Nothing all that earth shattering, just Arhenia. So
Pretty.
yeah, a little on wood, decayed wood, white spores. Okay, the one interesting thing I found out about these is that if you consult different sources, you find significantly different ranges on the spore dimensions. These spores are on the larger side. I think some of them are over 10 microns. But some sources will tell you that Arhenia, whatever, epi, whatever the thing I wrote down here, that the spores only go up to 7.5 microns long, which virtually none of these are that short. So it does make me think there might be a species complex here. So, you know, I've got the material, it's dried out. Oh, and by the way, everyone knows, or if you don't know, I'll say this coming weekend, I believe Friday is the starting day of fall continental mycoblitz. So if you want to collect mushrooms and dry them out and go online to the mycoblitz page and print out some voucher slips and use the voucher slips to pair up with the observations and then send them to Steve Russell, my coda. He will sequence these things for $3 a sample. And he says that if you really if it's a person who really can't afford the $3 a sample, he said just send stuff in, he'll do it for free. I suspect that when it comes to the free, the stuff that's just submitted without financial compensation, that he'll probably cherry pick stuff that looks interesting. But at any rate, it might be worth it. I'm proud. I'm going to make some collections. I'll probably send a little money, and I'll try to get our club to kick in a little money also. Anyway, just saying that starts this coming Friday. So would this be a good thing to send in? I don't know. Maybe. How well understood are these guys? I don't know.
I stepped away. What did you what are we calling this thing? You
Arhenia epi what's
yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. There's the name is there. Oh, there it is.
Epichysium.
Epichysium. I guess that's close enough. Epichysium. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
And were there spores for this? They didn't look entelomoid at any.
Nah, there's a spore picture here. They're like ellipsoid, sublacrimoid. They're kind of big though. So what I was saying a few minutes ago was if you look at written descriptions of this species, you see much different versions of spore dimensions, which makes me think that there might be more than one species here hiding under this name. So they're preserved. I don't know. Are they going to make it into the show? I don't know. I have a lot of stuff preserved from this year. I'm going to have to pick out 200 things. And I think that's actually going to be kind of a chore because I think I have a lot more than 200 things saved. But this might be a good candidate.
Interesting. All right, we're getting short on time, so I'm going to stop and move on to hunters.
Yeah, and I could pass tonight too if Dave or Igor wants to show more. I'm not real excited about my stuff. So, Igor, did you want to show some more stuff?
I could. I think I have 3 more.
You'll do a few more?
I said I have 3 more samples or 3 more observations to show.
Okay.
That's about it.
Look at this thing though. Is this yours, Hunter?
Yeah, is
this Postia pictogaster or whatever they call it?
No, it's lion's mane. It's Hericium.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's a bit dried out. I can show mine, but yeah, I didn't get back up as far north as I wanted to, and so things were pretty dry. But we can run through them real quick.
All right.
I found this on Sunday, and it was growing, I think, on maple. And there's not much more to say. I did harvest it. I do plan to eat it. It's a little bit dry, but I actually like them that way because I find when they're like really wet, they're like kind of astringent. So I think it'll be good. But yeah.
Which species?
Hericium erinaceus.
Erinaceus. Okay.
Yeah, I find it interesting how different this species looks between its young and mature and post-mature versions.
Yeah. I saw actually Nicole had posted almost like exact same shape, but it was younger still, and it had no spines barely at all. But that's what this is. It's unfortunate it was so dry. It'd probably be bigger. But yeah, we can go quick. Yeah, and some of these things this I've shared elsewhere, but not with this group. So these are actually stinkhorn eggs, and I thought they might be rhizopogon at first, that rosium one. But I cut them open, and it's clearly a stinkhorn egg. I'm not sure which one of the phallus, I believe Imputicus or phallus ravenelii. I'm not sure which. But this was like from a month ago, but I'm kind of light on finds. So that's why I'm like, if someone else wants to show some more, fresher stuff from Jersey, that's fine with me. So either way, but it's kind of cool.
That is very cool. Yeah, I like seeing the inside like that. It's nice.
Oh, okay. So Ethan is saying it's Phallus hadriani. Did you see me show this somewhere else, Ethan? Did you see it already?
This is some screen capture you got. So
Oh,
it's
yeah. Okay.
it's in
So
your observation.
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so funny. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's that. Maybe. Yeah.
Look at
Okay.
all the different layers in the cross section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A white, a brown, a white, a green, a white, a beige, and then the egg yolk thing right in the
Yeah.
middle. Interesting.
Yeah. It is pretty cool, I gotta say. Yeah. And the presentation before cut open was interesting too, the way it was just like dangling off a log by those mycelial threads. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. So that it was literally just kind of hanging there by these
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That is wild.
Yeah. I mean, and it was kind of suspended above, a couple, like a foot or two above ground on this stump. So yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool.
yeah, that was all right. And these other finds, this is from a couple weeks ago in northern Wisconsin. It's the cat's tongue, pseudohydnellum. Was it pseudohydnellum?
Pseudohydnum gelatinosum.
That's it. Yes, and this is the underside. It has this. It's like a tooth jelly fungus. So it has all these little teeth on the underside, and this was in a hemlock grove. I love this mushroom. I like seeing it, and I guess it is edible as well, but I have not eaten it.
I like that one too. It's a really, really cool mushroom.
It
And
is.
I've only ever seen it once.
Wow. I've
Yeah.
seen it quite a handful of times, but yeah.
We get them in like the winter, I guess. Here in the
Oh,
pine,
okay.
So
Yeah. Okay,
I
good.
guess it's
So-
one of those things that, I'm not out there looking for mushrooms in February often.
Oh, that late even?
That's when I found it.
Wow. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, that's interesting.
Again,
Yeah.
I've only ever found it once, so maybe other people here know more about it in New Jersey.
February. That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's good.
here in Pennsylvania, you start finding this in late summer and up through a good part of the fall. It's very common on hemlock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never found it in Illinois before, ever, where we have like no hemlock. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and I mean, we have no hemlock in the where I live, so I've only ever found it on pitch pine. So
Oh.
maybe it's not the same species. Maybe that's a good one to get sequenced.
I think Elsa Villenga did a study on these about maybe 7 or 8 years ago. So I'm guessing that they're fairly well understood. And I hadn't heard any groundbreaking sort of things about them in the Eastern North America. So I'm guessing that all of them are Pseudohydnum gelatinosum.
And Igor has been looking at fungi in the Pine Barrens longer than I have, but maybe it's one of those situations where it's just kind of rare in the Pine Barrens, less so outside of it, or maybe it's just common in the Pine Barrens and I've been missing it. Who knows?
I haven't seen this thing in the Pine Barrens, and the only place I think I saw this was at Stokes growing on a hemlock log. So I suspect there's more than one species, but I haven't read that paper by Belinga.
I do feel like they morphologically differ, in color, and I feel, I mean, it's hard to know for sure, but I feel like other ones I've seen, like I thought these weren't as pretty as some of the other ones I've seen, and I've seen some on the West Coast, and so yeah, I think, but that I know is not necessarily meaningful, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's
Well, it
some.
looks pretty big. How big is this big one down here?
Oh, probably not as big as it looks. Probably
Okay.
2 inches at the biggest, probably.
Pretty big. I think I've only ever seen them about an inch or
Oh,
less.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think these were at least 2 inches. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they are kind of big.
All right, cool.
Mm. Yeah, and then this is
Oops, same one, sorry.
just Haria chromapes, and it has kind of a rose-colored cap, a really pretty pinkish cap, and then the chrome foot, and it's and this was such a nice specimen. It was really big, and there are very few mushrooms out, but this was like 2 weeks ago. But the next picture shows how much of this yellow stuff is in the mycelium, and I thought that was really interesting. But
yeah,
it was hopefully it wasn't 2 weeks ago, because I'm still planning on eating it. It's in my refrigerator because I really like this mushroom. It tastes really good. But maybe I'm too late. I'll have to take a look. It's a pretty one.
Yeah, really
Yeah,
nice.
and no bugs or anything. It was just like perfect. Yeah, which was good.
Yeah.
I think it had like a bear claw. You see, like a scratch, or maybe yeah, maybe not a bear, but maybe a bear. Could be. And then I've got I think just maybe one more.
When did you find? Oh, yeah, it doesn't say. It just says October. Okay. So yeah, it's within 2 weeks. It's only the 14th today.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get it here.
Yeah, I think it's Willis luteus. And these were really, really abundant around the same. It's last weekend or the weekend before. This was actually the weekend before, so it must have been like around the 4th or 5th, or around there sometime. Yeah, very sticky, slippery cap. I do think this is the type species for the slippery jacks.
Which
This
species did you think it was?
luteus.
No, this is not luteus.
Okay, what
This is one of those large associated species. I think it's Clintonianus.
you do? I thought that really again. Oh, okay, because I did show that separately a couple weeks ago. I thought that was one of the drier capped ones. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is.
Well, this one doesn't have the purple ring, and it doesn't go all the way to the bottom of the stipe. It doesn't have the boot, so I'm pretty sure this is likely not luteus. You found this in a swampy, boggy place, didn't you?
It not exactly. There was no tamarack here, but it is a very wet area. It's along a section of the Ice Age Trail in Wisconsin, and it actually isn't I wouldn't really call it a, but maybe, yeah, I suppose, I suppose so. It, I mean, yeah, I guess it is somewhat boggy, but
I think this is Clintonianus.
again, okay. Mm, mm.
You can look it up online and see if it matches the appearance of your collection. I'm pretty sure that's what this is.
Yeah.
So what's going on out here? It looks like it's still covered, the veil here. There's a section. What?
No, it's
No.
the pores. This is that ring. That's
We are seeing the pores there. Okay.
yeah.
All right. That's just a hole from a slug or something. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm wrong then.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So that's it, I think, for me.
That.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. It's 9:03. Is there anyone else that joined late that has something they'd like to show? Let's see. There's 2 new comments down here. Brandon
Cool.
got something found with the Burkharts right next to Chatsworth. All right, let's see what this is. Oh, all right. Here we go. Yeah, on some kind of hard pine, pitch pine or something there. Wow, pretty good size too.
We're not seeing anything.
Oh, you're not? Oh, I'm sorry. Shoot, where's the screen here? I stopped sharing. Share.
Everyone can open it. The observations in the chat. Or you can.
Is that pseudohydnum?
Yeah, Pseudohydnum gelatinosum. Okay, this is from back in December, so he did find it in the winter, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, it looks like it's in the middle of the Pine Barrens.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
East of 206. Okay.
Brandon, is this the one you were talking about?
Yeah. Sorry,
Oh.
I was muted for a while there. Sorry.
So it was December though, not February, I guess. Yeah. That seems more right. Yeah. Cool.
That was a warm fall too, I think. We had a warm fall in 23, so yeah.
And Igor, to your comment, where was this found? Looks like the heart of the Pine Barrens. This was 50 feet from the Chadsworth parking lot at Franklin Parker.
Ah. Yeah, that you mean the North Gate, right? You know, the
North
532
Gate.
location. Okay.
Right.
Route 532. Yeah. Yeah, this is growing off a pitch pine.
Yep.
Like I said, the one that I saw only once was in northern Jersey, and it was growing on a hemlock. I think I have an observation of it on MO from 4 years or 5 years ago.
Yeah, and I think when we found this thing, we were talking about the coloration of the cap. The cap was pretty dark.
Yeah, it was brown.
Yeah, I've seen like white, black, almost black, brown.
Yeah, kind of like a bluish black, right? On some of them.
Yeah, or silvery black. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
who knows?
the only time I've ever found this thing. So
Mhm.
Yeah, and this was not safe. This was back in 2024, New Year's Day, yeah?
23, yeah.
Oh,
Observed.
sorry. Submitted on January the 1st. Yeah. So this is like, oh yeah, before New Year, so almost 2 years ago. I don't think I was there. Maybe I was. Probably not.
well, it had gotten quite cold at this point. It
Yeah,
was
I don't think I've gone to forays in the Pine Barrens that late in the last 5 years.
yeah. Oh, cool.
All right.
Good
Well, thank you.
good to talk about.
Yeah.
You didn't save this, right?
I doubt it, but I might have. Uh, I'll look through that era of things that I was saving, which was not very coordinated.
All right. I'm going to make one last call for anyone else with anything they want to show tonight. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate all the interesting finds and discussion.
Well,
We'll
I
see
have 3
you.
more observations.
All right. You want to go back and look at yours? Some
Yeah,
more?
quickly. Yeah, I mean, I think one of them was a Russula. I just photographed it because it was a very, very cool color.
Okay. Let me find them.
Yeah, they're number 6, 7, and 8.
There we go. Okay. I forgot you had more. Nice.
We're not sharing, Lila.
Oh, sorry.
Oops.
Back to the window here.
Hmm.
Share. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, okay, so late September, this is also Brandon Burns State Forest, Cooper's Road, going away from Packing Pond, going west, I think. Yeah, northwest. Amanitas. I think I might have found them before. I don't know the species. If it's the same thing I found 2, 3 years ago in August, I tried to sequence those and they failed. So no ring. I didn't excavate them. The caps were no more than 3 inches in diameter. The largest one, you can see that the vulva consists of these flat patches that are somewhat concentrically arranged. I think as the cap expands, they just break up and they form these rings or islands, circular, areas, and they're kind of grayish, maybe. They had some kind of a sheen to them. So the skin of the cap is white, and then the vulva itself is a darker shade. So yeah, I don't know what these are. They were small, and I left them undisturbed. You can see how they just poke through the sand. They're growing right on the shoulder of the road, maybe actually on the road itself that was widened by some graders. The office sometimes hires these people and they grade the road and they widen it. And every time the soil gets disturbed, things just pop up randomly. So yeah, another Lepidella. Who knows what this is? I just thought they were cute.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Nice.
And is there a reason they're not of interest to get sequenced, Igor?
Oh,
Or
I didn't go out to collect mushrooms. It was just a hike, and I didn't even have a knife or anything. And I said I'm not taking them. But I had a camera with me for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe I just had it in the bag. I just forgot to unload it, and I kind of noticed and took it with me. I said, well, I cannot collect anything, but at least I can photograph mushrooms.
Hmm.
Okay.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that nobody knows what they are. So this one was also found in Cooper's Road, closer to the intersection with Northlemon Road. And I remember the spot too. And I counted no less than 40 of these hydnellums.
Yep.
Because that's what these things are. This is the true hydnellum. They're very woody. They're not soft. And I photographed individual ones because they looked very different, but it's the same species. So single caps, fused caps, I think 42 of them I counted in that small area. And, they had a variety of, the morphological envelope of the species is pretty wide, as you can see. Some of them are uniformly colored. Others are like this one are sort of mottled with this white stuff on the top of the brown stuff. Probably part of the cap cuticle, whatever these things are. I didn't pick any. I mean, these will be probably great for dyeing. And yeah, but I didn't collect them. So they looked quite variable. But they were growing in an area that was maybe a yard and a half wide. So it's the same thing. So if you have any ideas what they are, hydnellum.
Spongiosipes,
I don't think this
probably.
is Spongiosipes.
Did you squeeze the stipe?
No, I didn't do anything. I didn't collect a single fruiting body. I just photographed them.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think we find any Spongiosipes in the Pine Barrens. I think it's mostly a hardwood-associated species.
Oh, yeah. So I'm thinking, what? Wait, Ferruginium is also hardwood?
No, that's conifer. We find Ferruginium in the Pine Barrens, but I think it's a much bigger mushroom. I could be wrong. More substantial. These caps were maybe 2.5 inches wide at the most.
Mm. Yeah, that's substantial. Let
Yeah.
me look at Myco Quebec real quick.
Yeah. I've seen this before. This is not like, it's new to me. I've seen this morphological presentation before, and it's probably one of the common hydnellums in the Pine Barrens.
Susan Hopkins might know what it is.
Oh, yeah, she would probably know.
Yeah.
It's probably in the book too. The Rainbow Under My Feet, something like that by Arlene Bissett.
Yeah. And it's fascinating how it can be so variable in appearance, though. There's a lot of...
Yeah, I gather it's sort of whitish early on, and as it expands, the whiteness is sort of restricted to the edge and it becomes more brown, or it's kind of weathered away. But you can see to the right, the fruiting bodies are older, but they're still mostly white.
Yeah.
And the ones to the left, there's more brown in the disc. Yeah, I thought it was fascinating.
And it has this interesting edge on it too.
Well, it's almost like, that color is lost, but because you see the other cap is entirely creamy.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is all brown, and only the edge is still creamy.
Yeah. That's...
Yeah, and the edge also is sort of has a, how do you call that? Crimped or something?
Yeah, kind of like a pie crust almost a little bit.
Pie crust, yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a well-known species. It's not something unknown.
Yeah. And then this one really looks totally different.
Yeah. Indeterminate growth. You see all these pine needles that just sort of captured.
Yeah.
And consumed, engulfed, just growing through that thing. Yeah, I didn't have the heart to collect even one and flip it over.
Ah.
I kind of had a sense that it's a well-known thing, so people should recognize this. Given the habitat and the overall appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, the last one is also from. So this is, if I get what date this was, early October, I think, or something like that. Yeah. This one is from the 10th, even though it was photographed a day later, but this is from just last Friday. and two russulas growing maybe 2 to 3 feet apart from each other. They're green russulas, but the young one had this really deep, rich color, sort of some strange shade of green or almost like bluish green. If you flip through the photos, you'll see it better because I'm photographing the disc. Yeah. And if you zoom in into the third photograph, which is just the same pretty much, yeah, you can see it better. If you zoom in, you'll see that the young one has this incrustations on the cap, crusts, these fine powdery things here. Yeah. But it's this gorgeous bluish shade of green, like one of the most spectacular colors I've seen. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Like a frosting.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
as this thing matures, it loses the color, becomes more light green, and you have the tawny or beige areas in the disc. I tasted that thing, even though it was pretty warmy and it was mild. It wasn't bitter or spicy.
Mm-hmm.
And the gills, which I think are shown in the next photographs, are fairly close, and there's a lot of forks closer to the stipe. Yeah, this is another photograph of that beautiful color.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost blue.
Yeah, it's almost blue. Yeah, but
Like
it's
a
green. Yeah.
navy blue and spots. So dark.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was sort of touched by the dryness already. Yeah, the gills are pretty close. A lot of forking closer to the stipe, not at the base of the stipe, but further away, maybe like a few millimeters, and almost none closer to the edge of the cap. You see these insects in there that are jumpy. I forget what these things are called. They jump.
Springtail.
Springtails. Yeah.
Springtails. Okay. So they're just eating the mushroom?
Yeah,
Probably.
springtails eat everything.
Yeah, they
They're
eat and they breed.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Like if you got a compost pile and there's springtails all over it, you're doing it right.
Yeah, I presume that the spore color is probably some shade of cream. It's not white, but it's just my
Your hunch.
conjecture. And I think when I touched the stem, it sort of stained yellowish olive. I noticed that, and that staining sort of preserved in there because I kept these things overnight in a wax paper bag, and I photographed them on my best spot for taking pictures in this natural light the day after, which is the 11th. So yeah, I say this collection, and green russulas I think are much more interesting than red russulas because there's so many red russulas and very few green russulas. But I tried, of course, the book, by Kibi and Fato, and I tried to key it out, and the older fruiting body peeled less than 1/3, basically like a centimeter of the edge of the cap, so it wasn't peeling much. And I couldn't really key it out to certainty to any of the few green russulas that are in the book. So who knows what this is?
We still recording? I want to ask a question about edibility.
Yes, we are recording. Yeah.
All right. Well, we can. I'll still ask it. People eat green russulas indiscriminately. I don't think that's wise.
Probably not. Well, one of them is not really a good edible. It's called redolence because it is sort of smelly. It has an odor of celery or parsley, something like that, and unpleasant taste. But the ones that are parvovirestans, people eat a lot, but except there's now two of them. I think species Indiana 162 is a lookalike and has a very different ITS sequence.
So maybe the patchy greenish ones are.
Yeah, Crustosa and Crustosa group and the Parvovirescens group. Yeah, people eat those.
Yeah. And no problems as
No.
long as you can, make them out as a patchy green one.
Yeah, Luke has been eating them for quite a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one is not Modesta. Modesta is gray or greenish gray, a different color, and has a bloom. So I don't think that's it. And this is not Variata because the gills are just not continuously forking, and Variata is often bitter. I do have a collection of Variata which I didn't share this time, but I might show next time. And that one had crazy number of forks.
My other question was about the presence of like purple on the cap, like purplish colorations. Will all of these green things kind of show a little bit purpley?
I think Variata often has a mixture of purple and bluish and green, and sometimes, I think that collection that I spoke of just a second ago, which I didn't present here, but I do have photographs of that. The older fruiting bodies were green, and the young one were sort of bluish purple or something like that. So, and they were all growing together, so it is highly variable. Yeah,
Cool.
I didn't know. I mean, what to call this thing. I said, like, I looked at all the descriptions and I didn't get a feeling that I got a perfect match anywhere.
Did you save it?
Oh yeah, this is saved.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, this was also growing essentially in the same place where I found that Amanita pakimxxx, just on the other side of the road, between Packing Pond and the campgrounds.
Nice.
Cool. Thanks, Igor.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, we had a Russula near the start of the evening, and we end on a Russula.
Confused as ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, species Indiana, blank, blank, blank. Whatever. Yeah, that's what it comes out to be, probably. Or maybe this is when the species New Jersey 05. Who knows?
Well, and it
Only
comes out
05.
it comes out to Indiana because that's where Steve is named them, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
And
collects.
he's
He
in
collected
Michigan
early.
now, so isn't he in Michigan now? So there'll be MI numbers probably.
Well, I mean, he has a lot of species from Michigan because of that club and that MO user, Hua Fang Su, who collects every day, and she has like, tens of thousands of posts or something. She's like one of the highest scoring MO user on the website after Eva Skiffick.
Yeah, the
from
two
Canada.
of them. Good.
Yeah, Eva also collects, and she says, "Oh, it never rains there. We have all this dryness. I just happen to collect my mushrooms in the woods that just naturally have groundwater, and everything is wet." And she has all these wonderful collections of fresh fungi, and like, oh, we get no rain. Right.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I'm going to stop the record.